Knocks down the shot. Big man, a versatile guy who can step out on the perimeter, play inside and out. And Wojciechowski's team jumped to a 4-point lead. They've scored the last 6 points.
Garcia does a good job of faking with the basketball, faking the pass, good back cut, leaves him wide open for a shot.
How about that? Black was trying to poke it away from behind, but a strong move by Kane, and Marquette is playing very well right out of the game. They've been struggling with the exception of those Butler games, although Wojciechowski said Marquette's lead is 10. You know, I asked Steve what his thought would be walking into the Dean Smith Center tonight, and he said to make himself feel more like it was at the player, he was going to have his sports information director, Scott Kuykendall, sit across the way and flip him off the whole game. It would feel like it did when he was a player. Sharpe misses in North Carolina from Gardner-Webb, which is in the state of North Carolina. R.J. Davis into the game for the Tar Heels. Sharpe tips it up. He can't get it to go. And pulled away by Jamal.
Doing a good job of protecting the paint without fouling. That was number one, keeping Theo John on the floor for as much as possible. Guy plays about 28 minutes a game. Keeping him out of foul trouble. Asked me who I wanted to work with. Now I'm getting mixed signals.
Yeah, that wouldn't be the way it went. Oh, man. Here's Sharpe. Double team coming, and they force the turnover. Caleb won't go in, but there's
just settle in, make better decisions in the half court, and you'll have a better opportunity to win this game.
Elliott did everything right, and somehow the basket just rejected his shot. That was all the way in the bottom until it somehow spun out. Spinning and not scoring is Sharpe, and Carton. North Carolina has scored 80 points or more in its last 4 home games. Now, you and I have seen them play very poorly away from home as Sharpe Ewan. Kessler inside, has it knocked away by John, but there's Sharpe to lead everybody. How impressed are you with him with Garcia?
With more points than North Carolina does when the clock hits triple zeros. It was a win for them to get back on the court. They've been through a lot to try to get to this point. And they've got Chuck Roll ahead moving forward. You out with more points than North Carolina does when the clock hits triple zeros. It was a win for them to get back on the court. They've been through a lot to try to get to this point. And they've got Chuck Roll ahead moving forward. Malik Williams back on the floor. And not solely because of what Malik does for them offensively, but more so what he does defensively. Because he's a guy that's anchored this defensive unit for the right place. So his leadership will be something that Chris Mack welcomes back into this lineup.
Offensive rebound, Andrew Platek, as the Tar Heels continue to struggle from the free throw line. They are off to a 1-for-6 start tonight. Day'Ron,
which is not something very characteristic of him, but I believe that has a lot to do with the opponent one in North Carolina and their shooting woes. Sharpe is that good. I believe he will be a high NBA draft pick this spring.
Kerwin Walton gives it to Day'Ron Sharpe. Williams blocked the shot.
Fan, those are my guys. So again, I root for the Orange. I just don't do it in front of you.
Great to see the Cardinals' Malik Williams back out there on the floor.
Impressive the development of Caleb Love, but to me, Kerwin Walton is the difference in this team because his ability to make shots opens up the floor. And this is
Louisville's offense has gone cold here in the last few minutes, and the Tar Heels just keep running. Andrew Platek pushes the tempo. Kessler with a nice pass. And the finish by Day'Ron Sharpe.
And Day'Ron,
I had a basketball crush on Day'Ron Sharpe about a month ago, and you said you turned it into a man crush. Basketball crush. Basketball crush.
All right, I'll take it. I do remember that, so maybe I do listen to you.
There he is passing out to the wing. Getting it back. The production.
The two most difficult teams in the country to evaluate. Clemson, of course, in the ACC, and St. Louis in the Atlantic 10 for the same reason. You know, they've come out of pause and just not looked like the ranked team that we saw in November and December. And really, you know, who are we to judge?
For over Gonzaga, Michigan State, etc. He was the top-rated grad transfer coming into the year, and Corey Alexander, he has played exactly like that.
He did not act sour. They didn't pout about the fact that Carlik Jones was leaving them. They congratulated him and supported his decision to move on. Give Mike Jones, the staff there, and the athletic department at Radford a tremendous amount of credit, because oftentimes you see guys decide to go elsewhere in a grad transfer without game action, and more importantly miss that much practice time and expect to be able to go out on the road and compete with a team that is clicking. And North Carolina is playing some of its best basketball of the season right now and finding ways to win even when they don't shoot the basketball well. And they've been able to just, you know,
better. Every single game you can just see he's developing feel. His instincts are better, and that means he has to think a little less on the basketball court. And if you're thinking less, you're better off.
Well, he's the best offensive rebounder in the country by
what he's got is the ability to read the play and relocate to the open spot where he can get the open shot.
his dad, Dr. Chad Kessler, a terrific player at Georgia. So too was his uncle, Alec Kessler, who played in the NBA. Walker has had an ankle problem, one of the many injuries for Wojciechowski's team. We don't expect to be able to see him tonight. But since that victory against Creighton, they've gone 5-10. A lot of the games have been close, so they... R.J. Davis turns the corner.
That's good offense for North Carolina, but even on the last miss, Marquette was locked in. They countered the defense in terms of how DJ Carton handled the ball screen. One or two extra passes and a driving kick. You got an open look, so you can feel good about that. That's a feel-good miss.
Garcia's drawn Sharpe away from the basket where you'd think he'd have an advantage. Sharpe's a very good driver and a terrific
shooter, a has-been shooter at least. The second you take yourself out of rhythm just to get to the three, you increase the opportunity for misses. Just shoot the shot you have open, get your feet ready, and if anything, get yourself ready before the ball gets there.
Jose Perez, a little pump fake on Sharpe, and Jose not. John and Jamal Cain have gotten in a little bit of foul trouble. A little step through from Carton. He gets another opportunity. Sharpe rejects it. Here's Elliott again. I believe that North Carolina is going to want to put this game tape in those trash cans, roll them out, and hope that they're taken away soon. Marquette, on the other hand, hoping that this can spark them to a strong finish. They've got UConn coming up this weekend, and DePaul and Xavier for the Big East tournament.
UConn with James Bouknight back. I mean, that to me is an NCAA tournament team, not only an NCAA. They're dangerous. Good guard play is dangerous in the tournament.
Under the arc, we've said they're not a great three-point shooting team, but they've been even below their norm tonight. Dawson Garcia has not been below his
all season.
Doug and Corey, we will see you at the half.
Sounds good, Kevin. Thank you, guys. With Corey Alexander, I'm Doug Sherman at the Dean Dome, and this is now the largest lead of the night for North Carolina. And as Fonz talked about, seems like
Greenberg is shot out, because exactly what he said is 100% correct. Kerwin Walton, his ability to shoot the basketball and not only make shots, but the attention that he takes away from opponents' defense, having to run him off the three-point line, opens things up for those big guys on the interior, makes it difficult to double team.
He was the top-rated grad transfer coming into the year, and Corey Alexander, he has played exactly like that.
He has delivered, has a chance to be a first-team All-ACC performer this year, Doug. But one of the things I want to make sure that is commended, Radford University did not act sour. They didn't pout about the fact that Carlik Jones was leaving them. They congratulated.
Takes the mid-range jumper off the back iron and a defensive rebound for Northeastern. Huskies have done a good job on the rebounding off of missed shots from Carolina. Have given up just one offensive rebound so far, and that's something that we talking about kind of come. Garrison makes the second of two. You said something that really was interesting to me before the game, and it's a lot of guys you see in the gym nowadays go in there for a couple of hours just to be there, but you would rather be there for 30 minutes and work on one specific aspect there.
Definitely, quality work always beats quantity of work. Anytime you're in the gym for an hour, doesn't necessarily you're getting better. If you're in the gym for 15, 20 minutes, working on shots you take in the game, hook shots, working one-on-one, whatever, you can get a lot of good work in versus somebody just goes in there and tosses it around for an hour. And I kind of see that old school hook shot right over the left shoulder.
Team high 13 for Sharpe. This game put on the schedule just a couple of days ago as North Carolina had their game, which was supposed to be played last night against Virginia Tech, postponed because of COVID issues with the Hokies. For Northeastern, they were supposed to play back-to-back against UNCW this weekend as strong.
And not a lot of people can do that. Like you said, his wingspan, that really helped him there. But yeah, back to what you're talking about, the cancellations with COVID and kind of the unpredictability of trying to schedule games. I think you said it's kind of like a tournament. You know, you win on Tuesday, then you got to get ready for a team you haven't seen.
Hey, my favorite little guy of all time, my favorite, Muggsy Bogues. Are you kidding me? They listed him at 5'3", he's probably 5'2", but he's like 7'2", and the ball was in his hands. And defensively, what he created is heaven. Only down 9, except 9 against this club is like down 20.
Well, it's better after a 9-1 run over the last 5 minutes as Baycott now has 4.
They're going to pound it inside.
Back to single digits. Hauser at reverse, shut down by Baycott, but a foul call.
Down 7, good entry to the post, and that's what they got to do. They got to start with their defense. They got to make sure they come up with defensive stops. Want to go in halftime feeling a little good about yourself.
Hauser. That's a triple, and that's a big one.
Game over for North Carolina. He's going to be a tough matchup for anybody that Mike Krzyzewski decides to put on him if they continue to play man.
Yeah, that's a vintage baseline turnaround. Classic Garrison Brooks right there. He's got 7. And how about Carolina? 7 of 8 from the floor, and a met with neither of them ranked. Mike Krzyzewski was 13. Roy Williams was 9. It was still a season, a year and change before Roger Maris would break the record. I mean, 1960 is so long ago, neither one of us was born in. First televised Olympics in North America. I mean, it really is remarkable. 153 consecutive.
At this level, at the pace, the physicality, and all those things he's actually gained comfort with, and you can see it come together this year. He just needs to shoot more, and then he'll be leading the league in field goal percentage.
He needs 4 more made field goals, or he did coming in to meet the minimum, but he's really played well. It was another offensive rebound, another missed 3 and long rebound. Clemson, not necessarily a great. Clemson is out rebounding North Carolina. North Carolina, one of the best rebounding teams in the country, and Clemson is typically out rebounded by his opponents.
Eventually, once the defense commits to the post, you're going to get open looks. It's just whether you can knock them down consistently or not. That's all that it comes down to. And at this point of the season, you as guards should understand the type of shots you get, and you should look for those opportunities.
Here's Sims. That one rims out. Rebound for Baker.
You're looking for, but it's a reversal opportunity to get a good look.
I tell you, Prosper has got